Primo, it's Selene Moon Goddess Tarot here with another pick a card reading for you guys. I hope everyone is doing well. I want to apologize first off for not being here, not posting. I was out of town and then I needed to work and had to kind of recover. Um, but I'm back, and so hopefully everyone is hanging in there. It's rough right now in the States, in the United States. If I don't know if people live abroad or not, but it's a fucking dumpster fire here. Anyway, so kind of to, be a little, give you guys a little bit more, because I was out of town. I'm going to do like a deep dive reading. So it's going to be a long reading. I have a bunch of oracle decks and message cards, but we're going to just like see what's, kind of with a microscope, what's going on with your connection and see what advice the universe has. Definitely thoughts and feelings will be included in that too. Okay. So we've got, oh, and also welcome if this is your first time here. This is my little tarot channel, growing steadily, by the way. I'm getting close to 200. And let me know in the comments if you guys think I should do like a giveaway, like a private reading giveaway, to try to get to 200. So we'll see. So we got 3 piles here. We have pile 1, which is the light and dark tarot. Pile 2, which is the stained glass tarot. And this is, what is this one? This is Tarot of Dreams tarot deck, okay? So usually I ask everyone to just pause the video and kind of think of which pile is calling to you. You could pick all of them if you want, but I just go straight to the timestamps because it's faster. You could just go right to your reading. And I am open for personal readings. I'll put my website also in the description box along with my Amazon list of tarot decks that I own. You guys could peruse through there and see if there are any decks that call to you guys that you would want to own. So, and I think that's it. So go ahead and think about your reading, see which one calls to you. Again, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and I will see you at your reading. All right, pile 1. How are you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to just remind everyone that these are, collective readings. So if something doesn't feel like it vibes with what your situation is, it might not be a reading, or that little message might not be for you. So if you're interested in a personal reading, I am open for those, and I'll put my website in the description box, which of course definitely would be tailored to your situation. All right, so let's see what's going on for you, pile 1. Let's get a snapshot here. What's going on in this connection? We have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups. All right. The Fool. Sorry, I moved my camera. The Fool, okay. 10 of Cups, nice, okay. Okay, we'll stay with that for right now. Queen of Swords and the King of Wands, wow. Well, right away, it feels like you guys are a power couple for sure. Maybe you had a slow start, or one of you was not willing to give in the beginning with the 4 of Cups. Maybe one of you had a crush on the other one, and this 4 of Cups, I always think about like apathy. It usually depicts a woman or a woman or a man actually, but she's holding flowers, right? And then there's this light coming from above, but usually it's somebody sitting under a tree, and they've got 3 cups in front of them, and then there's this cup coming down from heaven, and they're just not noticing it, So I'm wondering if there has been some time in this connection where maybe in the beginning there was, I don't know, like maybe a runner chaser dynamic where somebody was just not seeing the connection for what it was. That has changed though. Somebody has had a change of heart, maybe your person, because we have the fool here. And I like the way they depict a fool here because they have this woman just in this kind of sack, um, hanging off of a branch. And it's usually with, it has like somebody jumping off of a cliff or like skipping off of a cliff. And you don't know whether, are they coming or going? Are they going on a journey or have they been through a journey? I think this really represents your person has come around full circle, um, and has realized something. I think they realize that you are somebody that they want to build with. They want to have a life with you. They want to build, they want to come together in a partnership. They feel like you guys together are a power couple, that you both complement each other in the best way possible. Um, and there's a lot of love that your person has developed for you. A lot of love, like some kind of sentiment that you guys have been partners in a past life before. You guys have, um, there's this kind of, I don't know if you've heard of string theory or not string theory. What's it called? It's quantum physics. It's not particle theory, but it's something along those lines. But basically, it's kind of one of those things where they've discovered and have tested it. So it's not like a hypothesis. It's definitely something they've seen where particles that are paired, when they're separated, it, you know, into distances that are just don't make sense, right? Like one particle is in France and another one is in China, for example. And if they manipulate or do something with that particle, the particle in that other um, country will mimic that same reaction of the first particle. So I feel like when you talk about connections that we can have with people, there's a lot that our society does not tap on. Like our society makes it seem very black and white and simple. And the truth of the matter is that relationships are complex and they are like fingerprints and they are like unique to each couple. Um, so there's a bond there that your person has realized about you, that you bring happiness to them in a way that they never really imagined could be possible. And a lot of people can, like I know myself, I've had that same epiphany with connections I've been in where I'm like, I never knew that relationships could actually be easy. They don't have to be a burden, they don't have to be hard. A lot of times we think because of what we've learned about love from our parents or other maybe unhealthy relationships, they have to be difficult, they have to be heavy. Somebody carries the burden for the whole couple. And it's just not true. It doesn't need to be that way. Um, so, yeah, your person has had a huge epiphany in that regard. Um, Moving into the Page of Wands, I'm wondering, and if you're here, you probably this person might not have your person might not have told you yet, because with the Page of Wands, pages to me are like messengers. They're like little messengers that are it's a young, new, undiscovered, innocent energy, whatever the suit is. So if it's wands, then it's this undiscovered kind of message of passion and of love. Okay, um, but I find it interesting that we have the Queen of Swords. She's a tough bitch. This Queen of Swords is like she doesn't take shit. She might be somebody that, like, if we had to put it in a stereotype, which I hate to do, but like I love the Queen of Swords for like a single mom because you have to be both soft but also harsh, both the disciplinarian and also the nurturer. And I think that with the Queen of Swords, she's been through so much in her life. She doesn't have time to hang around for bullshit. You might have told this person, you know what, dude, or dudette or whatever, or person, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm waiting for you to notice that this 10 of cups is here for you and you're not paying attention. Um, Meanwhile, your person is boiling with passion for you. The King of Wands, this guy is like, he's kind of cocky, you know? Like, I don't know if you can see it here, but he's just like riding his little lion. He's straddling a lion. He's sitting on his throne with his staff, holding a sphere. Just like, I have it all. Like, I got this shit. I'm the fucking come get it, basically. And maybe that's the issue that we have here. Such a drastic hot and cold energies here. So let's get more information from tarot. Tell me more about this. Okay, Eight of Cups. Oh, interesting. Okay. Five of Swords, yeah. Tell me more. Seven of Swords. Oh, okay. Whoop. And the Nine of Cups. One more, please, Spirit. With this connection. I got you. All right. So this is okay. So this situation here, this is how it started with you guys. Um, but it's not the truth, meaning that there's some things that are being hidden here. I think in order for your person to have to show gratitude for you in this connection, they have to let go of some past hurts about the way they were treated in relationships. So these two characters here, the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands, I think are both of your ego, which I would say for you, pile one, you would be the Queen of Swords, and the ego, and vice, and you can switch it depending on your dynamic, but and your person is the King of Wands. So this is the dynamic that you guys put the front on when you started getting to know each other in the beginning. But that's surface level. That's like clinging on to your ego and what feels comfortable. Our brains, like I've said many times in these readings, our brains really do us a big disservice because it tries to protect us and keep us safe. And just like you would think in, caveman days, right? But also in love, in our psychology, with our emotions and understanding our worth and who we are in a connection, who we are in our village, in our tribe, who we are to people that matter to us, and also what is the cost of being in the connection? What is the cost emotionally, mentally? So depending on how you've been hurt in the past, we put on this kind of front. Like, you might be a very dynamic woman or person who lives in a very imbalanced in the sense that you don't, your first instinct is to not be in your feminine energy and not be in a very um, um, warm or receptive energy. You are very strong. You've probably been in situations like you're the only, female in the room, or you're the person that is, lower on the totem pole. You're in a room with a bunch of leaders and you're just, an assistant, or you've been put in situations where you're shoved into leadership and have tried to, maybe you were in the military, where you've learned that having a strong face forward is how you survive. There's an agreement, a soul agreement between you and your person that you guys are meant to be together. But this chip on your shoulder has prevented this from moving forward, and also your person. So you might be very triggered by this arrogance that your person portrays themselves to be. They portray themselves to be somebody who's charismatic, charming, really, really good at being social, very good at getting to know other people. But for some reason with you, there's a block there. So they've had to do some digging because we know that there's been this realization, right? Um, that there's this 10 of cups between you guys. But walking away from things that no longer serve you is what needs to happen for this to move forward. If you guys are not in communication, it feels like you're not in communication. And it feels like you were the one that put the connection in that because you're like, I'm not, I don't want this bullshit here. I deserve deeper connection. And then if you have that soul understanding, you know that they're capable of that. Now, on the other hand, with your person, if this is their front, then your person might be an anxious avoidant. I, Somebody else, I saw a video recently where I thought there was only avoidant, anxious attachment and avoidant attachment, but then there's like two other versions that have surfaced. So leave it to, the public, social media to label shit, right? But basically, your person might have started out in love where they put their heart was on their sleeve and they were like, you know, just handed it out to whoever they felt a connection with. And what ended up happening is they got turned down. They got turned down and learned over time that putting your heart on your sleeve and putting your emotions out first doesn't make you a winner, right? You lose in the end because maybe they presume that people just don't show emotion. They don't want to see the emotion. They don't want to experience it. They just want the lust. They just want power. They just want status or the titles of having a husband or wife or husband, wife, reaching social standard ladder, climbing that ladder. Another possibility too, I mean, for both of you, like if you want to go back even further, like with your being when you were children, you probably had to, unfortunately, didn't have people that cared for you. You found that you had to care for yourself. Like there weren't people there to receive you when you had your emotions, when you had big feelings, when you needed to talk, when you needed to be cared for. They just weren't there. Either they weren't there or they emotionally just were not there. They just said, you know what, you know, um, suck it up, Buttercup. We got shit to do. We don't got time for you to be crying. Deal with it later or whatever. And emotions were never talked about. And so you realized at a young age that, you know, I can't, I don't got time for feelings right now. Um, but deep inside, you're a marshmallow. Sorry to say. You are a little marshmallow. You're like a little Sour Patch Kid, like you're sweet or you're really sour on the outside, but in the inside, you're like super sweet. And your person, I don't know. The first candy I think about is a jawbreaker. Because that shit takes time, bro. Like to fucking eat. I remember being so frustrated as a kid. I would suck on those jawbreakers and try to bite them. Like I'm sure I had rotten teeth or cavities. I'm sure of it in my baby teeth for sure. But they just take a long time. And maybe that's true for this situation where you just have taken your person. It's taken a long time to realize that this is a 10 of cups situation where you guys have this connection and they've had to walk away from those parts of themselves that don't serve them, and they realize that this arrogance here doesn't serve them. It did not bring you guys together. This having this vibrato or this macho shit, they thought that energy was gonna match your bad bitch shit, and it didn't. It pushed you away. You're like, fuck that, I don't need it. Moving forward, with the Five of Swords under the Fool, I'm wondering what took place here. Well, let's clarify since we're doing a deep dive. Clarify the Five of Swords. What happened there? Why the Five of Swords, please, Spirit? Why the Five of Swords, please, Spirit? Clarify the Five of Swords. So to clarify the Five of Swords, that's the Ten of Swords. Wow. Shit, that's a lot of swords. So the Ten of Swords really is a card about a lot of worry. It's a lot of worry about being like in a hamster wheel of worry, um, being defeated by your thoughts, giving up, saying like, you know what, I'm not good enough. Like that's the fool part. Your person, the disorganized energy of the Five of Swords is kind of like, for me, I've always seen it as, winning the fight and not the war, or winning the battle and not the war. But just this uneven, missing the point, like missing the mark on what being a fool really should have been, right? Being a fool, letting go, believing in love again, believing that love is possible, believing that soulmates are possible, believing that what you learned about love growing up isn't the truth, that the truth is coming to you through this connection, that you guys are teaching each other through this connection. That's a big concept for anyone to really get grasp. And it takes a lot of just reflection, um, and trust in what you don't know. And like I said before, your brain wants to say, hey, you done this before. You got your heart broken before. Remember what happened with so and so. But the fool asks us to say, throw caution to the wind and be like, you know what? But what if? What if it does fucking all work out? Right? What if it works out? The Ten of Swords is that brain just wanting to protect you, but remember what happened last time. Or what if you're not good enough? What if you say something and you end up falling on your face? Or what if they really don't love you the way you think you do? What if she thinks you're crazy? What if like your person is just like, they wasted time doing that and missed the mark with you? Just their worries. Worry, 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 worry. And they're all lies. Because when you think about it, nothing that we really worry about, I mean, the odds of those things coming true are super, super, super low. Um, Catastrophe doesn't happen to everybody. And, I don't have an answer as to why catastrophe happens and why disaster happens to some people. Um, but ultimately, we are all here on this planet in a journey to learn and to come together and commune over that learning. Um, anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. Let's move on. All right, so we have the Seven of Swords here under the Ten of Cups. And so earlier I said, oh, this is just the top layer. So this is just the top of the pie. This is the nice fruity middle right here. And the Seven of Swords is about being sneaky, hiding your heart, not keeping your heart close to your chest. The opposite of having your heart on your sleeve, right? Just keeping secrets, secrets about, you know, foreknowledge, knowledge that other people don't know. Some people look at this card as like the cheating card, or, to put it in a very, simplistic way. But I don't think it's cheating. I think it's just not being forthcoming with. And maybe that's the case. Maybe your person knows that you are their Ten of Cups and they haven't said it yet. Because they know. They've done all the ruminating. And every time they try to get that excuse that explains this away, it doesn't stay. It doesn't stick. Nothing sticks. So I think that they're satisfied now with the idea that this is meant to be. They're emotionally satisfied that, this struggle, this tug of war of energy that you guys have had between each other is, for them, over in that sense. But we do have the Eight of Swords under the Queen of Swords. So I do wonder if you have some reservations about that. Your person is ready. Let's clarify the Eight of Swords. What is the Eight of Swords about? That's weird. I thought that I flipped one over. Eight of Swords, please. No, that's my shuffling. Eight of Swords. Clarify the Eight of Swords, please, for pile Oh, the Six of Wands. Oh, okay. So you worry about whether there's going to be success in this connection. You want there to be success. But the Eight of Swords, my dear, I mean, the Eight of Swords is an interesting card because here they use hands that are kind of tangled in with the swords, like four hands. But you know, the Eight of Swords is almost like you you keep yourself like a caged bird, and the door is open, and you're allowing these anxieties and worries to hold you back. And there is absolutely nothing holding this connection back. Um, I mean, unless your person is, you know, so maybe you're the one, you know, just to confirm that yes, you stopped this connection or you stopped communicating because of you felt like you couldn't move on to be successful if things stayed the way they were. But obviously you do want, I mean, if you're here, you do want success. You want success. And I think that you guys will be successful. I think, you know, the last card here with the king is the King of Cups. You know, you are going to have success. I like this King of Cups because it's like a man-made, man-mermaid. That's what that is. But yeah, it's like, you know, you guys have so much love between each other. And this has been a long time coming where you guys have had to work through individually. You know, sometimes separation's important. You know, you would do more harm to each other by coming together unhealed. It's better that you guys are healed. It's better that you know, even though it's super painful. And you guys both have strong characters. You're not pussies. Like you guys are people that know what it's like to, you know, lean into the suck. Know when something is just shitty. You both know how to deal with it. But when it comes to elements of emotion and the heart, that is hard work. Ugh, it's so painful. So let's get into some of these oracle decks. Okay, I'm just gonna like throw some out and we'll see what they say. Okay. Let's pile them. Now, this deck, it's called Oracle of Helna, Love Edition. So some of these are harsh, so we'll just take it with a grain of salt. But I've been wanting to use it, but I'm like, how am I going to weave these in? But we'll just see how it goes, okay? All right. That's a lot. All right, we're going to take 2. This is a new Oracle deck that I got, and it's called Sybil's Alchemical Poem Oracle. You could fast forward too if this is annoying you. Hmm. All right. Okay, we got a lot. We got a lot. All right. Let's just do it all. Sorry, now it's a mess. Okay, so. Oh my gosh. See, I told you. I told you. I love it when things like synchronize like that. All right, so we have. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, it says soul contracts and lessons. The people who trigger you most are often your greatest spiritual teachers, right? So I said you guys definitely have a soul contract with each other. This is this connection is not like a connection that you find here on this planet currently. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, see, this goes for both of you. The illusion of control. Surrendering is not weakness. Trying to control everything only breeds anxiety. Ten of Swords, right? Anxiety doesn't help us. It's worrying about a future that hasn't happened yet. How does that make sense, right? All right, this oracle deck, you've got summon, and let me get the book so I can tell you what that's about. Ay, Dios mío, tengo todo aquí. All right. So summon. $46. Okay. Summon the eyes awake from the dream's black womb. They crawl forth, twisted, birthing worlds of woe. Summon the eyes awake from dream's black womb. This makes me feel of like when I think about this, it makes me think of nightmares, worst case scenario. Um, when you go into that space, when you're in that space of worry, right? Remember we had the 8 of Swords here, right? When you go into that space of worry, pile 1, you're going into a space that you're just cultivating anxiety. You're cultivating more 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 unknowns, right? More things that could happen. You're not putting a stop to it. You're allowing it to come forth, be twisted, twist your mind and your thoughts and your perceptions about this connection. Um, Putting a stop to that is something is totally possible. Sometimes it's just as practical as just saying, nope, I'm not going to think like that. Sometimes I do that. I have to tell my brain, how do you know that that's going to happen? How do you know that that's true? I really don't have any data that tells me that this is absolutely going to fail. I just don't have data to tell me how it's going to turn out. And there's no way to calculate that. And that vacancy can be filled with what if it all works out? Positive thoughts. Or you can fill that vacancy up with anxiety and it will breed. Anxiety is one of those things that can, as you know, like we know people, everyone has someone in their life that does allow the anxiety to just take over, when it comes to things of the heart, we have a lot of invested in that. We don't want to be hurt. Pain, nobody wants to experience pain. But when you accept that pain as part of the process and you understand that this soul contract is here and the illusion of having control is just an illusion, you open yourself up to a new beginning, a new understanding, and to experience something in life that not many get the opportunity to do, versus you know putting constraints on yourself and on your person. Okay. Okay, these are those funny cards. Okay, this one says stop asking the cards. You already know. Okay, pile 1. I don't know if you've been watching a lot of tarot readings, but the universe is saying they know. All right, at this point, you are just looking for a reason to ignore your gut. Your intuition is telling you, damn it. That's not intuition you're ignoring. It's common sense in a cute wig. These are cue cards. All right. So stop asking the cards, right? So trust your gut. Trust what you already know about this situation. Okay. So this one says they said they're just not ready. That was your cue not to wait. Don't park your heart in someone else's construction zone. If they are not ready, don't stand around like emotional scaffolding. Move along. So I think this speaks to maybe some of the anxiety that you had. Maybe this is why you stopped communicating because you felt like, well, they're not communicating back. I'm going to protect myself and just fucking walk away, which is what this energy in this card is. It is about just walking away and saying, it's not up to par. It's not what I expect. It's not behaving in the way I want it to. So I'm just going to let go of this connection, which is not is trying to control the situation is what that is, instead of just allowing it to grow. Like you don't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to see if it grows. You just close it up and you trust, you love yourself through this, and you trust the process, which is easy to say, very, very, very hard to do. All right. Okay. It says, pile one. You are the whole buffet. Stop crying over someone who didn't bring a plate. You bring flavor, seasoning, and dessert. If someone walks away from that, they're not hungry for love. They're just bland. So I think this speaks to that self-love that I'm talking about. Part of a soul contract, when you're going through the process of triggering each other, a lot of times there isn't communication taking place, because the feelings are so intense. You almost don't need to communicate in order to feel each other, to feel the hurt, to feel the pain, to feel what's going on between you. During those times, trying to, figure out the future, asking the cards, doing all of that is not helpful. What is helpful is loving yourself. So making a choice. Okay, so maybe when you first stopped talking, you wanted to sulk, eat ice cream, and listen to sad songs all day. Um, but then there comes a time where you got to wake up and be like, okay, today I'm going to get myself fixed up. I'm going to look straight. I'm going to, look straight. I don't even know if people say that. I don't know why I said that, but look, put together, and I'm going to go run errands, and I'm not going to think about this today. Loving yourself, right? Paying attention to the things you got to take care of and going along your way. Um, and if you are going to listen to tarot readings, listen to ones that are about self growth and, maybe something about your past or your past lives or maybe career or something like that. Focusing on the future is where you can put that energy. Now, here's some thoughts from your person. The thought of you makes me smile inside. I'm sorry for not contacting you. Your person knows what this is too, by the way. Can you forgive me? Wow. That's amazing. Oh my God. I can feel you. Holy shit. Yeah, you guys are soulmates. Sorry to break it to you. I see you in myself, obviously. And the last one, I am ascending. I love that card. Because it's saying I'm going to use this time. I'm growing. I'm becoming better. And I know I fumbled this, and I know I fucked up and trusted my worry, trusted me trying to control the situation, and not trusting probably what you, pile one, already knew about the connection. Like, you already knew that this is a soul connection. You already knew it. Okay? All right. Well, pile one, I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you in your next reading. I really wish you the best. Leave a comment. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, put on your notification bell so you get notified when I post. I try to post every week. And I will see you in your next reading. Oh, and by the way, I am open for personal readings. I'll put that all in the description box. You take care. Bye. All right, pile two. All right, I hope you are doing well. pile one was pretty amazing. So hopefully we get the same situation for you. Um, just a reminder, these readings are for the collective, right? So there's going to be some things that you resonate with, and some things that really might not match your connection. Just take what resonates, and if it really, really just doesn't sound like your connection, it might not be your pile, and you need to like go check out one of the other ones, or one of my other readings, or somebody else's readings. So let's go ahead and shuffle and see what is going on in your connection. Choose connection, please. Seven of Cups. Page of Swords. Let's see. I think that's it for right now. Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Well, this feels like a crush situation. Let me get one more. Yeah. This is a crush situation. You're not. I don't think that. Yeah, Nine of Swords, Four of Swords. We got Four Swords, and we've got Temperance. Shit. Lordy, lordy. Okay. This feels like pile two. You have a crush on someone. Yeah. This is something. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. So this might be a crush that you've had. First of all, a crush probably from somebody at work, at church, at if you go to the Chamber of Commerce, if you are a business person, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're whatever, some larger organization. This person is above you. They could be above you. I mean, it could go vice versa. And you have a crush on them and you're not telling them. You kept it to yourself. You've not shared. Because there's nothing about your person in here. Nothing. Like you got fantasy with the Seven of Cups, right? So there's a lot of daydreaming, a lot of fantasy that's taking place here. You might be spying on them. Now, if I want to flip it, and pile two, you know already that this person has these feelings about you, but they haven't told you, and you're well aware of it, then they are spying on your social media. But if this is your perspective and you're the one with the crush, you found a way to kind of eavesdrop on them. You try to like be around when you know they're around. Try, like, if you know they go hang out in a certain area, you try to walk by there just to get a glimpse of them. It does feel like this is becoming burdensome to you, though. With the Nine of Wands, you've really done your best to try to maintain your composure, not share this information. Maybe there would be a lot of consequences if you did. Like maybe if it is like let's say this is a university teacher-student situation, which, hopefully it's reasonable in the age difference, hopefully. Or this is, a colleague that you work closely with, that it would be a scandalous thing. Or maybe both of you are married, or maybe it's, in some kind of way, this connection is not a very socially common or acceptable connection. All right. And so that it's become a burden because the feelings that you have not gone away. They have not gone away. The Eight of Pentacles, it seems like they've gotten to the point where, the Eight of Pentacles is about like, you're done working on whatever you've had to work on. All the distractions that you've had in order to not think about this, not all the reasons why you wouldn't share this are over with. It's come to completion in that kind of way. But I don't know why the Four of Swords is kind of like taking this sabbatical where you're just taking time to pray about it, to talk to universe about it, to be like, I don't know what I should do, or you are not seeking advice from other people. You're trying to seek higher level advice. And temperance is almost a duplicate of that, an extension of that. Um, and I feel very burdened here. I feel sad. I feel burdened and I feel sad when I think about this connection. Why does it have to be that way? Maybe you've asked yourself that. What the fuck? Okay, let's get what's going to be happening next. Like what's going on here with pile 2? Please, Spirit. What's coming next in this connection? Pile 2. Whoa. Those blew up. Oh, more work. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles. Strength. Okay. Being strong. Conquering the lion. We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So trying to maintain balance. Trying to figure out a way through this. The Ace of Cups. Trying to figure out a way through this to offer your cup of love. Or your person's trying to do this. Any more? The Tower. The truth comes out. Ha! Yeah, because there's nothing else to be done. I mean, at this point, it's redundant. Like, these two cards almost mean the same thing over here. Like, there's nothing left to think about. There's nothing left to do. Only thing that's left is action. It's time to take action. That's a lot. Let's take them. All right. Another 7. Interesting. We've got 3 sevens. 777. Look up that angel number. We have the 7 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Empress. Oh, the Empress. I'm going to put her up there. The Empress. She's beautiful. It's a major arcana card. A lot of other readers will say that she represents all 4 queens. You are this person's Empress. I think your person needs to come forward and tell you already. I don't understand what the holdup is. So what is the delay? Because we have the 7 of Wands. So there's some kind of opposition they feel like that is against them. There's something that we don't know about. So what is the opposition? What is holding this connection back? What is holding the connection back? The Hierophant. Okay, so maybe somebody does have a connection. Somebody's married. Or, you guys are colleagues. Like, you guys work together and nobody can know about this connection. Which just causes so much suffering. It feels like there's suffering here. The 5 of Wands. So I think there have been moments where your person has wanted to come in like a wrecking ball, like just with all of the passion to say everything that they feel. But it's been misdirected. Things have gotten in the way. Things have stopped it from happening. And then we have the 5 of Swords, again, with that disorganized energy, feeling like, I think your person is super frustrated, like with that 9 of Wands, just feeling battle worn, like they keep trying and they keep fucking it up. They keep either putting their foot in their mouth or tripping over shit or things getting in the way at work or something where maybe there's a very narrow time that you guys could even talk or have the opportunity to move this connection forward, and things keep getting in the way. And so hopelessness that's the hopelessness I'm feeling, I think, in this connection. But the good news here, there's good news, all right? We have the Sun, which really is not a beautiful card. It is the best card in tarot, I would say. It is a completion of wish fulfillment. It is success. It is being trying. Stop it, Dottie. Sorry, my dog is biting something. Um, it's being triumphant. It's having success in this connection. Why this has to be so drawn out, I don't know, because and if this is a situation where there's kids involved, or you are in a marriage and they're in a marriage, and it's these days with finances, I mean, it's very possible there are a lot of people that are in connections in marriages that both parties just don't want to be married anymore, but whatever, because of whatever circumstances they can't get divorced. That might be part of the reason. Another part is I see a lot of roots, like roots here in the tower. I feel like there might be children involved. Maybe somebody's very established. Maybe somebody has a lot at stake if this love were to be found out. But this is a higher level connection. And there is, just like, this is interesting because pile one was like this too, but there is this stop. Stop it. There is this look at that. And then my dog's getting in the way of the damn reading. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so what I'm saying is that there's this thread that keeps you guys connected no matter what direction or gets in the way. It kind of makes me feel like, I don't know if that's a good example, but like with water and oil, like if you had oil and, or is it the other way? Yeah, it's the other way. If you had oil and you saw water bubbles in it and you put things in the oil, the water bubbles would avoid anything in the way. Like you can't get like a pin and catch, or like a pen or something like that, and actually catch a water bubble. You might break it, but it'll come back together and glob together and find itself and stay together. Like there's no way to get rid of it. I feel like if in the beginning, like with the fantasies and stuff like that, like maybe there was like denial of this connection. One or both of you were in denial about this love. And there has been with the tower an understanding that um, what you thought what this was from the beginning is actually exactly what it is. It is a soul tie connection. Um, I don't like the term twin flame, honestly, because it's developed a stigma, honestly. People have used it to manipulate other people into feeling like someone is their soulmate, and it ends up being just a toxic situation. So, but I do feel like, that there's string theory and things like that, when you think about like how you our understanding of energy and frequency is very limited, and we're just opening up that Pandora's box right now. So I think that if frequency and understanding of energy, magnetism, all of that, attraction, um, can be true for elements, right? It can be true for atoms and elements and all that. It can also be true for us humans, because we are made up of those things, and studies have shown, like, our heartbeat, it sends out a vibration to other people. Like when you have, like, meet someone and you're like, I get a bad vibe off of them. That's a legit thing, like I feel something weird with that person. Or you ran into this person, whoever is harboring the has been harboring this love for all this time, met you, the Empress, and realized, like, it was like could have been a tower moment, really. Like there's something there. There's this acknowledgement or understanding of you that I shouldn't really know, but I know you. Like I know, I feel like I know you. I feel like I could guess things about you and be absolutely right. And discovering that, and if your person has been eavesdropping, they realized all of this shit, that you guys have a lot in common. You guys might be very different on the outside also, and that could be something that um, is was an element in holding this connection back, in that maybe you're not their type, maybe you're the opposite of what they thought they would want, or they've always wanted, but because of social standards, they never pursued. um, this one card here, we have the Queen of Cups, after that, the Sun. So there is something to be said about, you know the waiting part has been super painful for you both, I think, but your person is definitely in love with you. I think when I see the combination of the Sun and the Queen of Cups, it speaks about, the Sun is this bright, we know the Sun, it's sure, we know that the sun sets, we know, set aside the worry of a catastrophe, right? Another ice age or something like that. We know that the sun comes up and the sun will set. We can see a sunrise if we're lucky, and we can see a sunset if we're lucky. But we can trust that the sun is going to warm us. We can trust that the sun is going to help everything grow. It's the source of life on this planet. And everyone sees it. Okay? Everyone sees it at one time or another. And I think, ultimately your person wants success, and they want to be able to show you off. They want to be able to be free, because they feel like being able to be free, talking about, and this fell under the tower, the realization of, like, we got to move forward with this. We've got to get somewhere. We can't just stay this way. You can't just, squander this, because if this connection has survived all of this opposition and time, with really time seems like it has been an enemy of this connection, things getting in the way. And there's had to be a lot of endurance, a lot of embracing the suck and, accepting the pain for the hope of the sun coming up again, right? But I think the sun also is encouraging you in this connection, that this is a solid connection. This isn't something that even if you guys stop talking, or haven't admitted feelings, like, that's not going to last for long. You're going to have to come out and be real. If you or your person want to live with your authentic self, be your authentic self. Like, no one wins by staying stagnant and staying in the little confines of what social standards tell us to be, right? Nobody wins. Like, you don't die and meet the creator, and the creator says, you get a trophy because you suffered. You decided to suffer, and because of your self-imposed suffering, you get this room in the house. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Like, that's simply not going to happen. Part of our journey is growing and evolving and discovery. And we lose that sense of discovery from when we're children, excuse me. We lose that sense of discovery. When we're children, we're so curious and we're ready to jump off a cliff to discover something new. I remember as a kid in Detroit, one of my fond memories is, it was a hot summer and I lived in a cul-de-sac. And somebody's parent opened up the fire hydrant. And man, that water felt so good. And the concrete cooled down. And we were all just acting like crazy fools in front of that fire hydrant. And the power of that water it is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, we can all have seen firemen with the hose, and how strong you have to hold that hose. And I remember we were taking turns, and somebody would hold our feet and somebody would hold our arms and stick us in front of the fire hydrant water and let us go. So we just go shooting off and fly fucking forward. And I remember I got scuffed up so bad, but I had so much fun. It ended up being one of the best memories. And I just didn't care about getting hurt. And God, has that changed, right? I mean, as we get older, it's all about not getting hurt. We don't want to get hurt. We are afraid of getting hurt. We're afraid of putting ourselves out there. When doing that exact thing is what sets us free. All right? So let's get some advice, or not advice. Let's do the all of the oracle cards. These have been pretty cool, I have to say. For pile one, it worked out great. I've never done this before. So you can skip forward. Just, I'm going to be shuffling them all out, and then we'll look at them all together, okay? Oh, pile two. Okay. Ooh. Is this one or two? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. Oh, shit. Sorry. I hit my head. Ay, Dios mío. Okay. This deck is pretty funny, I have to say. I haven't used it ever yet, but it's kind of funny. It's called the Oracle of Helena Love Edition. So it is cutthroat advice is what it is. How many goes? Oh, there's 3. We'll take that. Okay. And let's take a couple of these. Okay. So, sorry, I keep hitting, what the fuck? I keep hitting, it's like I grew 2 inches or something. I keep hitting the camera. Apologies, folks. All right. So we'll start with these. These are, now this is called, okay, it's called Sybil's Alchemical Poem Oracle. So each card has a poem attached to it, okay? So the first card is called Unholy. And if you can see, it's like a nun with horns. All right. I know it seems scary, but this is a really cool oracle deck. And just if it matters, my right ear is ringing, so this might be really important for someone to hear. 30. Okay, so here's the poem. Exercise, so that's like exorcism, right? Exercise chants fierce against the possession's grip, expelling shades. So what does that mean? That means we're gonna uncover that negative energy that keeps holding this connection back. Expel the shades, right? So expel the shades, expel the things that are holding you back, all of the fears, all of the darkness, all of the what ifs. Lean into your authentic self, lean into it and see what happens. That it's going to be an epiphany that is going to be the doorway that opens this connection up to the sun, like we were talking about, just absolute power and light and connection for both of you. Okay, so there's that one, and then we had 2. So the second one is called Curse. All right, let's see what curse is. $32. Curse, here's the poem. Poisoned roots spread through soil, corrupting growth, withering life in silent blight. Wow. All right, so what does that mean to you? What are the poisoned roots spreading through this connection? What are the things that are within your power, right? Within your power. Just like when you think of weeds in your yard. Those, it's within your power to go and pull those weeds if they're taking over your rose bush. You're not going to just let that happen because you love your rose bush. You want there to be life. So what is choking this connection? Definitely delay, for sure, is choking this connection. But why, why are you allowing that thing to hinder the growth of this connection? Because it feels like you guys have gotten to the point where all the growth that could possibly happen can happen, has happened already. It's like this is a plant that has grown, all the roots are already pressed up against the pot, it can't fit in anymore. There's this feeling of needing to just stretch out. Take the plant out of the pot, run it under the water, get that dirt and loosen up those roots so you can replant it in a bigger pot. Because that's all we're doing in this connection, right? In life, in this on this planet, we are forever learning. We are learning. That is one of the things that we are doing on this planet, and then to share that learning. And if you're blessed enough to have a counterpart to share that learning with, then it's twice the power in and that you can then impart to others. Okay? All right, let's get these last few cards. Let's see, there's this one here too. All right. So we have, all right, maybe this is one of the things that are choking this connection, the guilt trap. Releasing unnecessary guilt, self-blame keeps you chained to cycles of suffering. Oh my God. I love it when, the universe just makes everything click, like, all right, the guilt trap. If you are in a connection with someone else, are you feeling guilty that you are in love with pile two? Or pile two, if you're in a connection with someone, are you feeling guilty that you are in love with your person? Is that guilt keeping you in that hamster wheel of this not moving forward and truths not being spoken out loud? These are things for you to consider. The mirror effect. What frustrates you in others is a reflection of something unhealed within you. Whoa, ouch. Okay, again, just like that, the unholy and the cursed card both talked about things that need to be expelled, that things that need to be let loose, things that need to be untied in order for growth to happen, in order for light to shine. So the excuse that you're using, or the excuse that your person is using to not bring this forward, is a reflection of their own fear. What would people say? Or I can't get divorced. Is pile two going to want to have a relationship with me even though I can't get divorced? Nobody would approve of this connection, or whatever fear is there. It breaks down to you're worried about what other people think, and you're not living your own life. Those people don't pay your... I've heard that over and over again. I tell my kids that too when they say someone was mean to them. I used to say, and do I take care of them? They're like, no. Do they pay our bills? No. So why do you care about what they think? Why are you caring about what they think? They have no place in our life. More so, if, let's say, what you're afraid of, like, this is work, okay, that's a little bit different, right? Then they do pay your bills. If this would put your job at stake, right? Then being shrewd enough to navigate that so that you still be authentic is something the universe will hand over to you for the sake of you being authentic. There is always a way. Always a way. All right, so here are the funny, I call them funny, but they're very cutthroat oracle cards, okay? Here we go. You are not a backup dancer in this music video of their dating life. If you're always on the side while they chase center stage with someone else, drop the choreography. You were meant to lead. All right. Well, I take that as what is, if energy is not being put in this connection, where are you putting that energy? Or where is your person putting that energy? This is saying that your person, or whoever is the one, with the crush and not moving forward. Um, and also, this goes both ways actually, because it's saying that your person needs to, they're allowing themselves to be distracted, assuming that, oh, this can never happen, even though they know the truth. So that's something that they need to work on and being authentic. And for you, taking that literal advice about you were meant to lead, like you were meant to be loved and chosen and worth everything. And ultimately, your happiness is the most important thing. And if walking away from this person because they are choosing to not move forward is totally, absolutely within your power to do. You are not, even though this is a soul tie, you're not obligated to stay here. You can love this person from far away and love yourself more and put yourself first because you deserve the absolute best and everyone deserves happiness. It is our birthright. All right. He doesn't need to, he doesn't need space. He needs therapy. Don't let him weaponize needing space when what he really needs is to unpack his mommy issues. You're not the unpaid therapist in this rom-com flop. Oh my God. I told you these are rough, dude. But it's kind of true. Like, again, with loving yourself. I think your person knows that too. Hopefully. I mean, this tower is here for a reason. I think they've realized that. Oh, lastly, he's not emotionally unavailable. He's just not into you like that. I know, ouch. But the quicker you stop romanticizing his ghosting as a mystery, the faster you will attract someone who actually shows up for you emotionally and on time. All right. Well, again, like this is a message for you, pile 2, to love yourself. All right. You can love yourself while this person goes through their growth. Okay. Nothing in your life has to be at a standstill just because this person is at a standstill. And if you really, and I'll tell you, if it really is a soul tie and you do decide to just like let this go and love yourself, they are going to be affected by that. They will be 100% be affected by that. And it will provoke growth. I promise. And, I mean, if this is a connection that's meant to be a romantic one, they'll wake up. And if it's not meant to be a romantic one, but meant to be one where maybe you're destined to be powerful business partners or powerful creative partners or be a part, maybe this is a collaboration of creation, like, being in a band or being a project, head of a big project. And this is like an essential person that keeps avoiding this inevitable thing that you guys need to do together. They're going to come along. It'll happen. But let's see. Let's do these oracles. These are some thoughts of your person. Oh, well, I don't want to be the reason why you cry. All right, well, we know what needs to happen for the crying to stop, right? Thank you, Captain Obvious. I still think about you. Okay, so maybe there is no communication happening. I feel the love. So, like I said, if this is that kind of connection where it's romantic, not romantic, but like a soul tie, what you feel, they feel. You affect them, even though you're in 2 separate areas. I see you in myself. There you go. I think that's this tower epiphany here. They think about you all the time. They really don't feel great about what they've done to you. And seeing themselves in you. Feeling your energy and them seeing themselves in you, The recognition of this connection is something that they realize. All right. I'm going to leave it right here. I can't even talk. I'm going to leave it right here while talking like Elmer Fudd. We'll leave it right here. Anyway, all right. Yes, I'm going to leave it here for you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I put readings out. And then I'm open for personal readings, and I'll leave that all in the description box. Okay, you take care, pile two. Bye. All right, pile three. All right, let's get to going here. You picked the Tarot of Dreams. I like this deck. I've had this deck for a few years. All right. Okay, so as you know, like this is for the collective. If it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't feel like it's your reading, it might not be. If you need to switch the roles, go ahead and do so to make it work. For example, like if it's coming out where it's a message from your person, or it could be from you to your person, vice versa. Okay, what's going on with pile three's connection here? Pile three, please. Woo, those blew out. I love it. I love the energy. All right. All right. Well, we're starting off with the Seven of Swords. So there are some truths being held back. There hasn't been honesty. Someone is having some reflection with the Three of Wands. So this is whatever has been hidden and what's being reflected upon and what's being hidden there's going to be a change here coming soon. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is a great card, and it's a major arcana card. So it talks about larger movement than just the face cards and the suit cards in tarot, and it is about moving forward or moving in a different direction, taking something that was stagnant and propelling it forward. Ooh, the Tower. Okay, so there's going to be something happened here. Some truth. I look at the Tower as just like, some kind of epiphany that breaks down belief systems, like or things that you were raised to believe to be one way are really another way. Or things that you thought were the truth about maybe who someone was, or perhaps it could be your perception, since this is a love reading, your perception on love in general. That's the change. Wow. Whoa. Holy shit. Now we got the 10 of coins. So your person, if this is your person, like I said earlier, like it could be you or your person, whoever it is, has had a major fucking wake-up call about this connection. Major fucking wake-up call. All right? Going from like avoiding the truth with the Seven of Swords to pondering the future, which at some level for pondering, you have to have some kind of acceptance, right? It's through that time, though. Everything has its place, like this seems frustrating. I'm sure it could have been for you, like if you're waiting for this to happen, but everything has its time, which the Wheel of Fortune also speaks about. Like everything comes in divine timing, but the epiphany has happened, and the epiphany is that they see you, or it could be you about your person, that you are someone they want to make a life with. They want something solid. They see a future in you. They see a partnership in you. They see a grounded connection that really, really matches their desires that they've wanted for their life in a major way. And it could be that this is a new kind of way of looking at love altogether. But this fucking Tower, man, whatever that was, it blew them away. Now, the Seven of Wands. Now we have 2 sevens. 7, 7. I think with the Seven of Wands here, this deck, interestingly, impacted me in a way where, sometimes when you're learning tarot, and that's why I end up buying a lot of decks, because they bring you different things, different feelings, different perspectives on cards. Okay, here they use this checkered floor as light and dark. And in other cards in tarot, like with the High Priestess and also the Chariot, there is this light and dark aspect, okay, of representing the universe, representing space, time, the higher power, right? And even though this person has his wands up and is feeling like he has to be defensive towards these other wands, he's not alone. Like this person is not alone. So this is a connection that's divinely guided. There's something about this connection that that is interwoven in the purpose for you and the purpose for your person on this planet. And your person fiercely protects that. Now they feel very protective about it. Very protective. You are their precious. Like you are the precious one here. Hermit. Okay, so Hermit, interesting. We have Hermit energy and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so it could be slow going. Okay, so now we know it's established that your person has discovered that that you are it for them, and now they want to protect it. They might be seeking some insight into how to do that. How do they protect this light now, right? And with the Knight of Cups, they do want to come forward. They want to come forward and tell you. And this fell underneath the Three of Wands, that contemplative energy, right? So let's tell us more about this connection, please. Pile three's person. Okay. All right. So one thing that they are afraid of being left out in the cold. That's one thing that keeps them hesitant to come forward. They're like, I don't know if pile three really wants me. Maybe there are, aspects about this connection that don't go with what society says love should be, right? Maybe there are other influences that are injecting this kind of fear into your person. Then we have the Ace of Swords here. Wow, that's beautiful. So the universe is behind this connection, and this connection will prevail. All right. Whatever this feeling that maybe they feel not good enough for you, maybe they've put you on a pedestal, maybe they feel like they're not in a place in their life in order to bring another person into to have this 10 of, like, they daydream and want the 10 of Pentacles with you, but maybe they're not right, they're not there yet, or they're thinking about it in a 3D sense, right? Like, no, like it's message, yeah, you're the king of, or I should say the 10 of Pentacles. Doesn't mean that you need to be rich to have this connection. It's not that, it's not written in crayon in that kind of way, right? It is a little bit more, vibing on the intuition and the essence of this connection and what the possibility of this connection can be. Masculines tend to be very concrete thinkers, very like action oriented, and like, oh, I must have money if I want, I got to fiercely protect this. Maybe, and another possibility too is that, like, if they did go after this connection, they might lose their prosperity. Like, maybe you guys work together, maybe that's a fear of theirs. But they're going to be taken care of. Like, I don't think that that's going to happen. With the Ace of Swords going underneath the Tower is an epiphany of knowledge. Like, an epiphany that pivots everything. And then we have the Tree of Life. Now, in the Kabbalah, they follow the tree of life. Now, I don't know everything about it, but I know that a lot of these little gold lines can represent tarot cards. I don't have not memorized that yet. What I do know is that there are 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. 10. And then there's a number here, which is like an invisible 11 because you have to have everything even, I think. Anyway, each spot is a type of graduation into a new wisdom. All right. And this is coming underneath the 10 of Pentacles. So, you know, going back to this being a divinely, spiritually guided connection, that this connection that you have with this person has a greater purpose for both of you to grow. Both of you independently are going to grow as individuals and then come together, and that's going to like multiply. So you might be a power couple. This has been a long time coming. This has been something that your ancestors have been wanting to happen, which is interesting. Ancestors, that hasn't come up in any of the other readings. But let's get a couple more. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords and the Five of Cups. God damn it. Why the Five of Cups? Clarify the... Okay, because I know the Queen of Swords, that's the truth, right? That's truth coming forth in feminine energy. So if your person has been in this masculine energy, stoic, keeping to themselves, slowly, coming to the understanding about this connection and them really, really desiring this to come together in the 3D, them then switching, after they've progressed through growing in that wisdom, they're realizing that balance of your masculine and feminine energies is always the goal. And sometimes, depending on how you're triggered, or whatever situation you're presented with, you will instinctively go towards either being more masculine or more feminine. But the goal is to be balanced, fair, and not take things personal. But they're realizing they haven't been balanced. They've been very in their masculine energy. So they want to come forward in this truth. But let's clarify the Five of Cups, please. Clarify. That's Five of Cups. All the cards fell out. Hold on. All right. So... Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Okay, so... Okay, so there's some pessimism here. Fucking... our brains suck sometimes. There could have been situations where your person has gotten their heart broken, all right? They've gotten their heart fucking broken. Somebody hurt your person really bad. So they are reluctant to move forward because of this heartbreak, even though they know this truth. They're reluctant. But when I asked to clarify that, we got the Six of Wands, which is being triumphant, right? Winning the war, winning the battle, coming home. The Six of Swords, so 2 sixes. And the Six of Swords is about like moving forward despite opposition, despite truths that have been burdensome to you that might have to hang out there for a while. Like let's say this is a situation where he might or she might or you might lose some wealth or some prosperity because of this connection. That understanding, but still going towards the connection, right? Like some things are going to take some time. Some things might need to be worked out, but still moving forward to the better waters. Anything is better than staying in silence, is what that energy is. So despite them having their heart broken, they're going to come towards you, and you're the Queen of Cups, right? They want to come towards you. You are, and that's falling under the King or the Ten of Pentacles. And they're going to come forward with this truth and tell you the truth about what's happening here. They really, really want to do that. And part of this epiphany is the understanding that they have had to grow and mature emotionally. Because if you're the Queen of Cups, you're already emotionally intelligent. There's nothing this person can tell you you don't already know, which could be part of the hesitation too. But they're fiercely protective of you, and they don't want anyone to get in line ahead of them. They want to pursue you. Okay, so let's get some messages. Let's get an oracle. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Got a lot of message cards here from your person. All right, this is the oracle card here. So, crossroads. All right, let's see what crossroads mean. I wonder if this is that crux right here with the, like, the stagnant energy, and then bam, we got the Wheel of Fortune, and then we got the Tower. So, crossroads. Crossroads. Where are you? 40? Okay, it's a poem, okay? All right, so for crossroads, we have 4 paths meet under shadowed moon, whispers choose, or doom falls. 4 paths meet under shadowed moon, whispers choose, or doom falls. Huh. So this feels like everything is coming to a head. Like there isn't anything else left to do or to learn. The truth has to be told. Like in whispers choose or doom falls, it's like it's now or never. Right? It's now or never. I can't wait anymore. Like it needs the truth needs to come out. It needs to be told. You guys got to talk about this. Talk about the feelings, talk about the connection, talk about, what are the roadblocks or the crossroads? What direction you have, any direction you can take this connection. But without communication, ain't shit gonna happen, right? All right, now this oracle deck here, oh hell no, it's a little harsh. So we're gonna take it with a grain of salt. Okay? Okay, they said they're just not ready. That was your cue not to wait. Don't park your heart in someone else's construction zone. If they're not ready, don't stand around like emotional scaffolding. Just move along. All right. Deep breath, pile 3. I don't think that's the case here, honestly. I feel like this is a trigger for you. You might have been triggered many times over to just be like, fuck you. You know what? You're not going to talk to me? Get the fuck out my face. All right? I got bigger things to do. There's more important things to do in my life than to me for me to hang around and be your, your band-aid or, for your boo-boo every time you get hurt or every time, you want attention, right? So this could be something that the universe is pointing out to you. And if you guys are a mirror for each other, that can be one of the triggers, okay? Now, this one says, you can't heal in the same place that broke you. Going back to just talk is like trying to clean your house with a flamethrower. Respect your healing. Some doors are better left closed than padlocked. Okay, so this I think speaks to the crossroads card about like it's now or never. You've gotten to the point, both of you, in your growth and maturity through this connection, that there isn't, you can't go back to what it was before. Like for example, going back to silence or going back to not recognizing the love in this connection. That's stupid, right? It's like taking a shower and then putting on your dirty clothes again, right? I mean, what's the point of that? That's it. You need to move forward, right? So, oh God, I got distracted. Look at this. Okay. Your love is not a clearance sale. Stop discounting yourself for attention. Ouch. Oh my God. Okay. You are a full price energy. Stop accepting kind of interested or might show up vibes. You deserve adoration, not bargain bin romance. Oh my God. Ouch. All right. Well, that's fucking true for both of you. I think that's just true in general. Like, happiness is a birthright. We all deserve to be happy. And part of that happiness is being authentic, leaning into who you really are. And your person obviously is having a struggle with that, but they're coming to a point where they've got it. They realize what they need to do. They need to come out and be open. That they. I mean, there's just no way around it. So if you've walked away because you're like, I'm worth more than that, I deserve more than that, then you're absolutely right in doing that. You're absolutely right. You do not need to hang around in a pause state just because they are doing their thing. That's putting your worth in the toilet. You love yourself. You continue to go on and love yourself. Make your day about you. Make your day about the things you got to get done. Don't make your day about waiting for their text message or waiting for those messages or watching tarot readings all day. Right? All right. They got to come through. They got to get the balls. They got to man up, as they say. All right. Let's see. This is the love oracle. This is their thoughts and feelings. Okay. First of all, I am ascending. All right. So they are growing. That's not something I wasn't talking out of my ass with that. Okay. So yeah, they're growing. They're learning their lessons. Like, it's not easy. I mean, just as it's been hard for you, I'm sure if they're having to do all of this growth, they've had their own moments of pain as well. But, just like a snake, at some point, a snake, a crab, whoever those animals that have to shed, it's like at some point before they shed, it is uncomfortable. It is tight. They are hard pressed. Something's got to give. And I think that right now in this connection, that's where you guys are at. Will I see you again? So you have cut this person off probably. I somehow trust you. So there's this like unsaid understanding that maybe society says they shouldn't trust you. Maybe there's something there that has been, that they have had to work through, but they can't deny that they trust you. They just can't pretend that they don't. I know I was a fool and I am truly sorry. There you go. I knew it all along. What did they know all along? I mean, because if you look at the progression of the cards, The 10 of Pentacles came up way up here, and we still had all this shit to go through. And the clarifying of the Five of Cups. It's like they've been knowing this for a long time, that they're in love with you and that you are their person. So now we're at that point, right? We're at the point of where the snake is pressed hard on every side. There's a cast even over his eyes. The skin needs to come and break apart. You need to bust out of it. So pile 3, I would say, definitely continue loving yourself. Trust that this connection is going to be a part of your journey in some kind of way. And feel the love there in that the universe has not lost sight of that. Your angels and ancestors are watching over this connection. And you are so valuable and loved. You deserve to be loved and adored, like those cards were saying. And don't put all of your worth in waiting for someone. Because what is not meant for you, something better is coming along the way. And everyone has free will, right? Like your person could decide to just walk away. But that I promise you that you will be their biggest regret in their entire life. So if your person is smart and courageous and willing, they need to come forward. And if you're the one that hasn't come forward, this is a huge wake-up call and a huge blaring, bright spotlight on the fact that you need to come forward and be honest about how you feel. No matter the cost, no matter what don't focus on what that person's reaction is going to be. Focusing on that is shooting yourself in the foot. They say that bravery is doing it scared. That's what being brave is. And nobody taught me that. I remember I found that out the hard way. I got in a fight, my first fist fight. And I was personally like really, and I never shared this with anybody, but I was really surprised at how shaky I was, how it was hard for me to think straight. And it wasn't until after that first wave of adrenaline that I got my wits about me and started really being more, let's say, thoughtful in the punches I was throwing, right? It's like after that adrenaline rush is over, you're able to think more clearly. And I have to say that a lot of my experiences with my adrenaline has been with physical fights, but also verbal fights. But once you get past that first few words or that first interaction, you get better at just moving through that energy. So if your person has been afraid to be honest, or you are the one that's been afraid to be honest, you ripping off that Band-Aid and doing it scared is absolutely the right way to go, because you can trust that after that first sentence is said, it'll all come flowing out, just like a release of pressure it just needs to be done. Just like I come from the medical field, and I think of like, a tight, not to be gross. Hopefully if this grosses you out, you can just click off. But if you like gross things, please stay. But it's kind of like a cyst, right? Like you have a big abscess or cyst, and it's huge, and it's tight, really, really tight. And it causes so much pain for that person. And just pus underneath just builds up and builds up. It's like all this learning and understanding you can have in a connection to only some certain point, to where it's no longer beneficial to keep it to yourself. No longer beneficial for like all of the little white cells and all that pus, all that stuff it's been sending to that area to get rid of the infection isn't working. It's just making the infection worse. And the only way to take care of it is to lance it open. Get all that shit out, pack it up, and let it heal from the inside out. So, I'm going to leave it right there, okay? Pile 3, thank you so much for hanging out for this reading. I really enjoyed it. Like, all three of the readings were fantastic. And I just wish you all the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post. And if you have any suggestions for any different subjects, or if you liked this one a lot and want more of these, let me know in the comments. I love reading comments. All right, until next time. Bye, guys.